Last time on the Great Food Truck Race, things started heating up when the clear front runner of the whole damn competition got out in like 3 episodes till the finale, and we were like, shit, I think we know who's gonna win. Sudden upsets occurred when maybe they didn't win. Hi, I'm Tyler Florence, and this is How to Catch a Predator. And this is my protege, Annie.
God, this would be funny if I knew who the guy was in How to Catch a Predator.
Chris Hansen.
Why did... Minty.
And this is FunUntitled, where we say F you to things. That's how it goes, right?
And I'm going to say F you to that intro because it doesn't tell you that we're doing the Great Food Truck Race of Food Network. I actually really like this show.
Let's get rolling. So, Minty, how many seasons do you think you watched of the Great Food Truck Race?
I want to say like 12.
Holy shit. I think I watched 2.
No.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I didn't watch 12 of the 16.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I watched... There was a time when I was binging a bunch of Food Truck Race, and by the time I finished, I kind of just stopped. And, you know, like, you don't watch TV after a while, so there's, like, kind of a break in the middle. And then I saw the last 2 seasons.
Because I saw the season with the 3 guys making waffles. I watched the season where Senorita had the home turf advantage, so they won the whole thing.
Bullshit.
And then I watched this season, so I guess 3.
Oh, wow. Because the earliest seasons of the Great Food Truck Race are super good. Because, okay, the Great Food Truck Race is 8 teams compete in their food trucks to win a prize that kind of changes every season.
First season, they won a food truck and I believe $20,000.
And then they would switch between winning the food truck and not winning the food truck, which I thought was kind of weird. And then they just altogether just stopped winning the food truck. I think it's because as the show got more popular, some of the people who are competing are already food truckers. So it'd be weird to offer that as a prize. And it's not as necessarily as entertaining to always watch newbie people. So that could be why they got rid of that, but you know, it's still nice. The show gave the competitors their trucks. And I assume if they're pro, they would have given them maybe a new truck, kind of to start on equal footing as everyone. Because to ship over a truck would be, you know, a lot of money, expensive.
But then we go to that Shipping Wars show. How much money do I pay you to ship this truck from state A to B?
That would be so cool. I've never seen a full episode of that.
Pawn Stars is more interesting. Not Pawn Stars.
Storage Wars?
Storage Wars, that's it.
Storage Wars is an interesting show.
But we're not talking about that. Fun fact about Food Truck Race, in the beginning seasons, they would actually go from like state to state every episode. But then with more food permits and like zoning laws, yada yada yada, it's just cheaper, easier, and legal just to film all in one city.
Yeah, and before, the finales used to be where the food trucks would go to one spot, have to settle some kind of objection, whether it's to sell a certain amount of units, to sell a certain amount of money, or whatever, before they can move on to the next spot.
Oh, kind of like a triathlon?
Yeah, so it was kind of like a race. So you were like trying to get the money before the other team, and then they would do this whole thing where like you would watch one competitor park their car, run to Tyler Florence, open the suitcase to see if they were first or not.
Oh, that sucks.
Like a lot of drama because you don't know who they're filming. And of course, if it wasn't them, then they would show you the footage of the other team winning the $50,000.
That's tough, man. So, I think we're just gonna go over the teams from who got out first to, you know.
Okay, we're gonna do season 16, David versus Goliath. Which is not really.
Okay, here's the thing. I say that phrase way too much, you're right. The David versus Goliath, so it's pros versus amateurs, but none of the amateurs was like a complete amateur. They just didn't have a food truck, but they knew how to run a restaurant.
Yeah, so they kind of had a lot of the skills a food truck owner should have, right? A chef, a manager, somebody to make sales, a hostess.
Because I saw like one season, I watched some episodes here and there when it was like when it was playing. I don't know if you kids know what that means. It was just randomly on and I was just there to look at it. I saw like this one team who like did not know how to work the food truck at all. So like no one was outside taking orders. They didn't know how to run the appliances.
That's why it's kind of more entertaining to watch like completely new people. I mean, there's a lot of interesting situations. There was this one Korean team who was like dominating the competition, but they were eliminated because they were cheating.
Oh.
For some reason, for one challenge, they somehow like increased the money in their until. And what I'm saying is that in this show, as long as you don't make the least amount of money, you're still safe to compete in the next week. And for some reason, the Korean team somehow faked the numbers, and that's how they got eliminated. But it was weird because they would have won that week regardless.
You know what's funny is that the funniest elimination I ever saw in Food Truck Race was when like they dinged a street lamp or something, so they had to pay for the street lamp, and it used like a lot of their funds, so they was like out.
Speaking of which, so in the first week of season 16, 8 or 9 giant personalities, and the block had the biggest personality. I forget what kind of food they served, but they like dinged the Paisani truck.
The Paisanis, the Italian boys. And it's weird because the whole episode was like a little feud, but as soon as that truck hit the Paisanis, they were like, hey, don't worry about it, brother. It's like, no, I feel really bad. Everyone's safe.
I know, yeah. And it's like, okay, Paisanis, automatic fan favorites.
Oh, Paisani won the Miss Congeniality, like immediately.
Although also from Hawaii, so big support for the bald guy.
So the block goes home. I think it's because they went home early because like they ran out of chicken wings, so they're like, well, nothing for us to do except go home now.
Yeah, but that's so hard because like Tyler was like mad at them for that. But it's like, what else are they supposed to do? Should they have bought food and come back for what though? I mean, I don't know if it counts toward like the next week.
I know one team in the previous season, when they ran out of food, they just made a new dish out of like the side entries.
Yeah, and someone just sell drinks.
Yeah, so maybe they had to do something like that.
That's true.
There was one team, I don't remember, but like no one was not buying their food, so all they did was get like a strawberry dipped in chocolate and gave it out for like $1.
Yes, yeah, because anything counts, right? Why not? So then the bald guy won this week, and this is the start of their streak, and supposedly they made the most amount of money in the first episode. Apparently they had that coconut wireless connection.
It's so weird. Like you're watching Food Truck Race, like, okay, I don't know anything that Kana's making looks interesting. I don't know anything the poor Seppa is making. The bald guy, oh, Loco Moco.
Chicken katsu.
I know it all. I must be a culinary expert.
And something.
Then we go on to the next week, and then we see like a really weird interactions with Four Hens Creole Kitchen. Was those women lesbians?
Yes.
Okay. So like, I guess an influencer came. I was like, you gave me something. I didn't like it. I want a refund. And I'm just like, can they do that on the mainland? Because if I buy something and I don't like it, I just say, oh shit, gambled wrong in this place.
Yeah, it's like, that's it. You just don't go back. You don't need a refund.
Yeah, you were the one that decided to buy it.
You just take a chance. I don't know. When we talked about it before, you were like, well, if she's an influencer and she's probably just trying to get on TV.
Oh, yeah.
She's just trying to bring up some drama or whatever, so that she's like, oh, look, I was on the Great Food Truck Race. Being a total bitch.
And I didn't know how returns work, so I didn't know I needed to bring the original credit card back.
Which is crazy, right? Like, we all know this at this point. If you're buying with credit card, you gotta return it with the credit card.
She must be like 16 or something. And like, yeah, the women was yelling at each other, and then they just went home that week. No one's fault that we eliminated 2 black teams immediately. It's just coincidence.
Hey, the bald guy won again, so it can't be that, That's not a black team.
I think this is the
dark skin.
Yeah, I think this is the start of the Kana going to that Wildcat Cafe.
Oh yeah, they found it. How do you feel about that? I mean, because early seasons did not have this social media thing.
Yes.
It was all about finding good parking, hoping like some kind of event was going on, having good salespeople on your team. But now it's like, if you find your need, get social media, then like you're almost golden.
I mean, I felt this way ever since I saw Senorita win. I was like, oh, we posted on social media and people came blocking. It's like, then it seems like you don't need the money because you already have an audience. Shouldn't the money go to people who's actually talented but they don't have a following? Like they could actually use the startup money?
I do agree with that. I mean, I wish they didn't bring an LA team to the LA competition. Because now it feels like with 2 seasons in LA, are they just gonna have them all in LA now? Which is gonna be very boring.
Especially this season because Tyler Florence, like, I got you a great spot, and almost every single time, this was a shitty spot, Tyler. You got mad at us for not moving the first episode because, like, these challenges are a gift, but maybe you don't give us shitty spots next time, Tyler Florence.
Yeah, it seems like it's good for an hour. Like, Food Network just advertised, like, 1 hour good, and then done.
Second episode is also when Paisani gave all those ingredients out to those other food trucks because they didn't have the right ingredients for all those hungry kids.
Yeah, they gave it to the bald guy. I forget who the second one was. It was either 4 hands or 2 girls, I feel like.
Yeah, it was one of those teams because they needed that mayonnaise. Yes.
And then that good karma didn't help them because they were eliminated in week 3. That was so sad.
So, like...
Oh, and then this one, they paired up and had to switch a member.
Oh, yeah.
Because Kahana got one of the Paisani boys, and then that's when Kahana realized, we gotta get rid of this dude.
We gotta get rid of this white guy. He's not even on the LGBT spectrum.
He's not a minority. He's not a woman. What good is he? That was weird because they're like, oh, he just keeps causing trouble. I'm like, but you're like a sassy Pakistan girl, you know? You're not like totally innocent, but I guess it doesn't really matter about general terms. I mean, just for that dynamic, it just wasn't working.
What do you think? Because either this episode or the next episode, where they fired him on national TV without telling him,
Which has never been done on the show before, apparently.
Did you think that was a cool move?
I think it was okay. I don't know. A lot of the other teams found it very disrespectful and didn't like Kahana for doing that. But I kind of thought, like, you gotta do what you gotta do to win.
Well, to me, it just seems like they could have planned it out more because it seems like really impulsive to be like, Tyler asked us how our day was, we're gonna fire this guy. It's kind of like you're a Walmart manager and you go to the speaker and it's like, hey, Tom, you're fired. Get the fuck out.
No, I feel like Kahana must have talked to the producers. And then they were like, let's get all this on TV for drama.
I will say the season had the most fake drama. Because there's so many problems like, oh my god, this happened. But like
After commercial break, yeah.
we fixed it. And like it seems like it was really like the most recent example was the finale where like the Easy Vegans, spoiler alert, it was making a sauce. Like, if I can't get this blender to work, we are screwed. And I'm like, are we though? Because it seems like you just need an outlet and there's a shit ton of outlets and food trucks at this establishment. You could just like go outside and use a plug.
Look, there's not a lot of drama on the Great Food Truck Race. The only drama is just like there's no parking and should we stay or should we go?
Should we stay or should we go?
That's literally the only drama that's ever in the food truck race. Except last season when Senorita and this other team did not meld together. And the other team was so upset that they just left.
Oh shit. Oh yeah, that woman who like ran away for some reason.
Yeah, and then like what was weird was that she made like Latin Mexican food, but she's the most white passing Mexican Latina ever. Like blonde hair, blue eyed Latina woman. Which exists, sure. Just weird.
So yeah, two girls, Jamaican tacos, goes home. I don't remember much about them.
They were a cute team.
Was there a lesbian on that?
No, I think it's a mom and her 2 kids.
Okay.
But it's weird because the 2 kids that are with her is not like the 2 girls they're referencing. I think it's like her and her oldest daughter. I didn't really make any waves.
Is this two girls, Jamaican taco like a porn name?
Oh my god.
You know, 2 girls, 1 cup.
Yeah, but no, I think it's literally because 2 girls started this up, a mom and daughter. They're Jamaican.
Okay.
And they make tacos.
I'm sorry.
You're gross. That's what you are. You're a disgusting person. And the bald guy continues their 4-week streak.
So we go to Lisa's creperie and I'm just like, I don't know about this, girls. And they was like, no, trust us. We make great crepes. Like, okay, you made it this far.
What's crazy is for them to have 2 restaurants and a food truck from whatever country they are from. Not country, state that they're from. And they feel like they had to participate in this competition. Would you think crepes would do much better in LA?
I know Lisa's creperie had like a backstory where they really needed the money. Like, I think something went wrong with their business. Maybe COVID.
I don't know. It's hard to beat the Pura Sepa. They got hit by a hurricane story and they lost their restaurant. Now they started up a food truck in Miami.
Lisa Creperie had like the weirdest fabricated drama with Kana.
Yeah, they really did not like Hana for what they did to Jake.
That was his name.
Yes, the dog.
I like his voice actor, Jake the dog.
DiMaggio.
But yeah, Lisa Creperie, sorry, bye. You didn't make that much of an impact other than the weird rivalry between you and Kahana. Who was, I do say, I think Kahana did get the villain edit.
Yeah, because I think they were like a spitfire, right? They had a lot of passion, they had a lot of voice, so that it's easy to make them like the villain of the show. But honestly, they didn't really do anything that bad. Because even when they shut down Lisa's Creperie, I think Lisa's Creperie did like really well one time.
Yeah, because they just told them please wait till like after 30 minutes and everyone's like, okay.
It's the only place to get crepe. Yeah, eventually they get eliminated during week 5.
Then we go to the next week and I guess like the bald guys are like, we can't compete with these white people because they're like really in your face trying to sell food, and I guess Coconut Wireless didn't work here.
Yeah, there's one point I guess it just stopped working, and I wish there was an explanation why. I mean, is it like the people didn't want to keep coming over?
My bet, my assumption I would say, say is that in this week's challenge, whatever it may have been, I think it was like they just didn't get the news out in time, you know? They didn't like put it on social media or whatever, so they couldn't get people to them. If I remember correctly, they would put it in front of like this weird Washington Monument kind of building, and then later on they partnered up with Kahana.
Right, like they had to.
Yeah, like they had to go to those locations, you know?
Yeah, I mean, what's interesting is because they said like, oh, we're not used to getting people to us. That's just a skill we lost. And I was like, I guess that is true because I believe his dad started the food truck. So dad probably started the company, started the reputation in Hawaii, and people just come and all he really had to do was just continue the traditions, maybe improve the recipes. So he never really had to start from scratch.
Also, to be fair, I don't think pushy tactics works in Hawaii.
No, yeah, you know, I mean, they're probably just like quiet people. They're not the crazy Asian. In Hawaii, if you see like an elderly Asian woman who's dressed very nicely manning the store, you better be strong enough to say no when she starts coming over and being like, you gotta buy this, you gotta buy that, or get out.
I do say it also doesn't help when you are also Asian and tiny, and the woman's like, you need this, you're gonna buy it. And it's like, okay.
Like, once you enter the store as a small Asian, the pecking order has been set. And it's like, ooh, I'm not gonna go in that store. Well, actually, maybe, because it's got good sales.
Oh.
Like, if you're gonna go in, you better go in on a purpose and ready to buy something. Yeah, and I was surprised that the final three, I mean, I was expecting Easy Vegan and Kahana, but I was surprised at the Pura Sepa because they were very weak in the beginning. Then all of a sudden, they got like this wind behind them. And then that lady was like a really good saleswoman.
She's very cute. They had a very cute team. The commentary is like they're shitting on other people. The easy vegans, more like the fast vegans. Jeez.
Yeah. There's just like no trash talking from them.
They had really cute food. Not cute. I don't want to boil this culture down to just cute. They had like these little Tyler empanadas.
They were very festive.
Yeah.
It was like this, now this, and this, and I was like, holy, like I looked like a huge plate of food.
What's funny about them when they went home, right, is that so the easy vegan had like $600 in the lead that week. Like a ridiculous amount. But in Kahana still be the easy vegan. The easy vegan only beat Pura Sepa by like a few hundreds.
Yeah, Nels and Kana was just a two-man team.
Yeah.
Which a two-man team I feel like has always gotten eliminated because there's almost no way to do it. I think I remember one person was a solo.
Yeah, and she had to hire someone to man the front.
Yeah, and I was just like, all you do is just take tickets. And I don't remember if they got eliminated or not.
Pretty sure she did.
You never know. We'll never know.
So then we come up with Kana, who did the second runner up. So as we said, they fired Jake and they got Carl from the block. And I'm like, how much chemistry did you have with her?
Yeah, we forgot to mention that. That's crazy too. I thought they were gonna bring anyone that's gonna be from Paisani because Paisani just helped them. But to get Carl, like another thing that I'm pretty sure has never happened on the show either.
Someone said that wasn't fair because in the previous season, they only had 2 members and they weren't allowed to add a third. And I'm like, eh.
Or maybe like in that instance, they couldn't bring a third from like their state. And maybe like there's some like you have to vet them. But Carl's already been vetted.
Oh, gotcha. You want to put like a psychopath on TV.
Right.
So overall, I do think the Kana going to the Woodcat Cafe made it kind of boring. Like everyone complains that Bald Guy winning 4 weeks in a row was boring, but I'm like, oh, Kana going to the same damn place, and this guy's only letting them there because like he also wants to be on TV.
Hey, that is great advertisement to like go find the Woodcat Cafe and you know eat. I guess not eat because they wouldn't have the food truck out there. Maybe they did. Maybe they just wanted to support.
I do say that there's like a little poetic justice because at the very end, because they were at Woodcat Cafe, they didn't get a lot of sales.
Yo, you think maybe like the Bald Guy, like what was helping them, just like it doesn't have that follow through.
Yeah, they were using it as a crutch too much.
Because what I did like about the Easy Vegan was that they always had like, okay, now it's time to bring up this recipe. Now it's time this. Oh, pierogies, it's gonna sell, so it's time to bring it out. And, like our secret last weapon, pink tacos.
Because we're lesbians.
Like they were very strategic in like knowing that they never had to like scramble for an idea. So they always knew they were gonna bring it out at one point.
I will say though, Easy Vegan, I'm happy they won. It's weird that we had the second vegan team in a row. That it'd be like that sometimes.
Guys, what? Every other vegan besides these last 2 seasons has done very poorly in this show.
I remember one team, it was like, oh, we're gonna give out a meat challenge. Sorry, vegans, you're gonna have to incorporate meat into your dish. And they were like, okay, we just won't taste it then. It's like, hey, Tyler Florence, did you get a lot of bullshit from that? I bet you did.
Sometimes you just gotta do what's already planned.
So overall, I don't think Connor would have won because it was clearly the villains of this season. And this is weird to say outside of RuPaul's Drag Race.
Yeah, because they weren't really bitchy bitchy.
They weren't.
They just had like they made tough decisions. I guess in a way a lot of people didn't like.
I didn't like the non-binary. I always hate saying I didn't like the non-binary because you want good non-binary rep. For that non-binary, I want them to shut the fuck up sometimes. They trash talk a lot.
I guess so, but they were also the voice that was selling the products, and they were very good at that. So it comes and goes with, its pros and cons.
This is the thing that made me so upset about Food Truck Race, is that the last competition, they put the food trucks at a per food truck like lane to celebrate female chefs. And I was like, tell Florence, did you know? Did you know the final two teams was gonna be 2 female-owned food trucks?
Did you know that Paisani could never represent there?
Like, even Dua Pasepa, like, the fact they have a male-owned, it's kind of like,
That is true, yeah. They needed Lisa's creepery.
They needed Lisa's creep. They're really hoping for the 4 hens and the 2 girls to be the final 2. So overall, I thought it was an okay season. It wasn't the worst.
Yeah, it's okay, but if you're gonna keep it in one season, it's not that great. Or one city, I mean.
Alright, top of your head, the favorite challenge that they put in this season.
I like when in the finale, when they had to take one of the competitors' dishes off the menu and then reincorporate it into their own. I thought that was pretty cool. And I thought Kahana was very clever too. Like, well, we can't make the same dish, but we can like redo it in a different way.
I don't know why, first thing that comes to my mind, it's like when they did the baseball challenge of all those shitty kids and then the easy vegan one with the drink.
I know, it's crazy, right? It kind of makes sense.
Everyone's selling food, but not everyone was selling a drink.
Alright, so let us know if you've ever seen this show or what your favorite food competition show is.
Until then, Otterbots roll out.